guys, I'm Crystal Jordan here with Auesomely You magazine, and today we have.
My name is Quandra with True Legacy.
Oh, so tell me about True Legacy.
So I'm a braider, short hair specialist, and then I help small business owners build and structure their businesses and also be able to get funding and set themselves up for retirement.
We gotta before we dive into that, I gotta dive into the branding part because a lot of small businesses skip that part and just launch.
Yeah,
They launch the crickets.
right,
I did it. I did that years ago, and I learned that you have to have a business plan and stuff
right.
like that. So get into that. What you do, that I can get into that mom club.
Okay, good. So when I first started doing hair, I honestly was just doing it to make money, doing it as a hustle. And then I moved to Atlanta, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like it need to be a business, like because of the way things are here. I started learning a little bit more about like you can't get access to capital or funding or loans or anything unless you really have your business structured properly. So I learned about that, and then
That's a learning struggle right there.
yeah, honestly, it's so easy. It's
Well,
really
in the beginning, it was a learning struggle, not anymore, but
right. Yeah, it's really easy, but it's just like a lot of people don't know about it. It's like it's easy, like because it's really like one, two, three. We're setting up your business, just doing what you want to do, having your name, getting it registered, getting your EIN, and all of those things. It's really easy. But like you said, it's a learning curve. Because I actually paid someone to do mines, and wish I would have never paid her because it's so easy to do. You know.
y'all, I learned it the hard way too. I didn't pay nobody. I did it, and I structured my business the first time so wrong, but now it's so much easier. So with you being here at that mom club event, what makes you want to be a part of what Elaine's got going on today?
Because I'm a mom and I'm a great mom.
I
Is
love Great Mom. Okay.
Yes, I'm a great mom to three. I have a 14, 10, and 12-year old. Started really young, but I do this. No support system. My younger two, their dad is in their life, but for the most part, like I'm that mom.
I love that you say you're that mom. What is a piece of advice you can give to someone who is a mom that is struggling? They are a single mom, they have no support. So you're very resilient. So what can you give to that mom?
Just to stay resilient. I mean, not I said resilient because you just said resilient,
Because you're
but
resilient.
yeah, I am. Thank you. But to just give yourself some grace. One day at a time, and there's no right way to being a parent. There's no blueprint. So just make sure that you're giving yourself grace. Learning children, it's you have to learn their personalities and then grow with them as well. So also like learning to love yourself so you can love them properly, but loving them how they need to be loved. So yeah, just give yourself grace, and one day at a time.
Okay. So if you could give somebody some advice who is dealing with somebody who have a learning disability in their family, what the advice you can give them? Because sometimes people look at people with learning disabilities, they look down on them. They don't give them patience. They judge them and they don't even try to love them.
So I have a sister who moved here with me 2 years ago, and she has a learning disability. And I basically, like my grandfather would say, raised her because now that's a whole story in itself, but I'll keep it short. But it was just me and her. We weren't really raised by. I mean, we were with our dad, but we wasn't raised by our parents, like hands on. So basically, raised her, had to grow up looking after her and stuff like that. And one thing I'll say with that is, again, you got to give yourself grace and be patient, like you said. And then also, they're human. So still at the same time, like
Yes, they
just
are.
just like with children, learning to love your children and treat them how they need to be treated is the same thing with a person with a learning disability, and just being patient with them. And oh, it's a lot.
I know it is because me having my son who is autistic and nonverbal, he's a handful.
Yeah.
It's so sometimes it's overwhelming. Cause I'm like, oh my god, you overstimulating me right now. But I just give him patience and grace, like you said, and I think that's simple advice, but that's needed advice. Somebody may not resonate to that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let me just be patient. Let me and see how far my patience will go.
Yeah,
So
you gotta be patient. Like my sister, she braids down with me, so I'm a braider, of course, and then she braids the ends for me. And a lot of my clients, like, you are just so patient with her. Like you could tell that she has a learning disability, but at the same time, like she doesn't give like autistic and I don't really even know what to label her as really, except for she just
it's okay.
develops slower.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And my next question is, how can you include inclusion in your business?
Include what is it?
Inclusion, like talking about how do you would you ever think about hiring somebody special needs in your business outside of your sister? Because I think that's beautiful that you have patience, and there's so many special needs people that need jobs, but need a boss that understands them.
Right. Yeah.
And I think you would be a perfect person to, even if you just do internships, I think you'll be perfect for it.
Right. So with my sister, like she likes to do nails and things like that. I feel like having workshops, like say if I was to do like a braid workshop or like I would collab with other like beauty professionals, makeup, nails and stuff like that. Little artsy stuff to kind of just keep them, active. I would do something like that.
Yeah, I love that. So, where can our audience find you?
So my Instagram, TikTok, and I'm launching YouTube soon. But Instagram and TikTok is True Legacy, TrueLegacy.
I love that. I like your name, True Legacy.
Yes.
Okay. You guys, well, I'm that mom, Crystal Jordan,
And I'm BJ.
and you're that mom.
Yes, and you're that mom.
And bye, you guys.
Bye. So how long have you had this?
This